Well, hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to part 7, the finale and final of the Battlestar Galactica build-up from the Reimagined TV series. I have to apologize for the long duration in between videos on this kit. That's because, as you know, there was approximately 1,100 decals to do on this thing, and I honestly just got kind of tired of working on decals, so I put the model up and I just let it sit there for a while until I was able to go back to it again. You know, doing every single decal, you know, rib by rib by rib on this thing was very tedious and definitely challenging. But I was able to get it done. Like I said, I did some and I put it up. I just kind of forgot about it, and then I got tired of looking at it, so got back to it. Excuse me. So got the rest of the decals on. I went ahead and put the gun emplacements in. You can see there, and also on the underside. Try not to bend this too much. There's the head right there, and sorry, my camera angles here are not the best. You can see the guns underneath the belly right there. So got all those in. Those are super easy to put in, not a problem. The ones under the head of the ship kind of gave me a little bit of a grief, but no big deal. I did have one major setback with this kit, and that was I burnt out. It was my mistake. I ended up burning out one of the lights in the flight pod. So what I did was I was able to sneak a new light, a new LED in there. It was tight and it was rough, but I was able to sneak one in. I had to rewire kind of the resistors and the other 3 lights just to make everything match up as far as brightness goes. But I think they look pretty good. Overall, the kit is really a good kit to build. Do I recommend the decal set? Yes, I do, because if you look at it, I think the decals really really bring this thing to life. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful how the decals just add so much detail to this thing. It's just unbelievable, you know. And for the price you pay for these decals, it's not that bad. You know, I mean, underneath, it's really, they're really awesome. I don't regret doing the decals by any means. Would I ever do them again? Probably not, because I don't think I have the patience to do this a second time. I just don't. But yes, the decals were definitely say I'm glad I purchased, and I'm glad I put them on. I don't think the model would have come out half as good looking with detail if I hadn't put the put the decals on. The one thing I did for weathering with this thing was I kind of blackened just kind of a little bit of a shade on the rear engine caps right here. Nothing too substantial, just enough to kind of make it look like they may have been, you know, scorched a little bit. And then when all the decals were on, I gave it a gloss coat and I gave it a very light black wash. Nothing very heavy. My goal was not to make this thing look battered like it did towards the end of the series. I just wanted it to look like it did at the beginning, or the opening scene of the very first episode, where it was heading back to Caprica for decommissioning. And at that point it looked old, it looked dirty, but it wasn't beaten up, and I liked that look. So now, don't get me wrong, I liked the battered look too. It looked really cool. And if I ever have in there one of these kits again, that's what I'm going to do. But for right now, I was going after the, you know, 40 years later, heading back to Caprica for decommissioning look, and I think that came out just about right there. This is lit. I was able to light the alcoves here with a red light. The engines are lit. Both flight pods are lit up, and I do have some lights underneath the Cobra head here. The stand, as you can see, I did not go with the kit stand. I was going to, but two things about that stand bothered me. Number one, I thought it was a little too small for this kit, especially for all the wiring I was doing. Excuse me. And I just didn't like the looks of it. It was, I don't know, it was lacking to me. So what I did was I jumped into Tinkercad, my favorite 3D program, or 3D design program, and I designed a box. I went ahead and did some detail on the top, just some grids. The box was built, or was designed, with a center cutout for the rod, and I did have to print and design and print this little adapter right here to fit this rod, which was pretty easy to do. I just took my calibers, measured the rod, and then I printed it, I designed it accordingly to that, and then it fit perfectly. And then you can see it kind of underneath with all the wiring here. You can kind of see it right right there, the cap right there. That's basically the little piece I made for this, just inserted and epoxied in. And then I also did a nameplate in the back. Let's see if you can see it. This also is 3D printed and painted to give it that kind of metallic, old, kind of distressed metallic look. It's simply the Battlestar Galactica 75, which is the same thing on the base. I like how that came out. Looks pretty good. Trying to make this too long of a video for you guys. The only other thing I did, I designed these. I wanted to, my goal here was I wanted to emulate the kind of the ambiance of the internals of the Galactica, like the hallways and the flight and the landing bays, with the arches, the little pyramid arches that you see in the landing bays, and you see kind of in the hallways throughout the ship in all the episodes, and they kind of look like this. Especially, you really see a lot of this in the landing bay area, these arches. So I wanted to kind of carry that out onto the base. So I 3D printed, I designed and 3D printed these. They are cut out with grooves by design, and I just simply threw a black wash in after I painted it to accent these lines. And on the back, I made it to where the inside was open, and I did that for a particular reason. I also have corresponding holes in the base all the way around each one of these pylons, or these arches. And I did that for a very specific reason, and I will show it to you. I wanted to add some character to the base. I just didn't. I mean, it looks good like this, I think. I like the arches. They definitely carry the ambience of the ship to the base. But I wanted it to kind of be a little more. So, let me light it up. So that's what I did. Basically, what is inside the back of this is a 3mm red LED pointing down where I have the opening, and it is shining downward. Now the camera's going to kind of blow this out, so I don't know how it's going to look on camera. Let me bring down the webcam so I can show you. Sorry for the shaky cam. Okay. So you can kind of see how that looks. It's not as bright in person as it is on the camera, and it goes on both sides. As far as the Galactica herself goes, you can see that nice, again, not as bright as you see in the camera, kind of glow. I am seeing that maybe I am missing a light, like right back here, maybe. But I don't think I could have got one in, to be honest with you. So that's going to have to work just the way it is. I'm not sure in this show if there was an actual, if the red light carried all the way to the rear of that section there, but I'm not worried about it. And here are the flight pods. Again, they're not as bright in person as they're on camera. You can actually see the, I can see the landing strip and everything. You can kind of see the landing strip. And then of course, got the engines going. I used flickering LEDs in the four outer ones, and then I used stationary inside the middle, because I put a LED strip for the middle. And the last thing I did were the Cobra headlights. And then here's kind of a distant shot for you. So let me, again, I'm sorry for the shaky cam. There we go. So, yeah, all in all, I'm pretty happy with this thing. I'm pretty impressed with how the lights came out and everything. Like I said, my only kind of regret is I wanted the red lights inside here to carry all the way to each end, but I am not worried about it. I think it looks fine. In fact, I have to revisit the show to see exactly how far that red light carried through. I think maybe it didn't come through the ends, I'm not sure, but it's no big deal. I think the stand turned out really good. I was kind of worried this might be too much, that it might detour from the ship itself, and you might be looking at the stand like, yeah, but kind of ignore the ship. But I don't think it's too much. I think if I would have added any more, it would have been too much. Maybe I did have one too many of these going on. Maybe I should have maybe minus one from the front, and just have like two on the ends, and maybe one here and one here. Now that I'm kind of thinking about it, maybe it is a little too much. I could have done, like I said, just one here, and then maybe just here and one. It's a little too late now, unfortunately. I can't do anything about that. If I ever really get to the point where I don't like how this light is, I can always disconnect these two, or this light in the middle. I can just disconnect it completely and not worry about it. But yeah, that's my only kind of gripe with this now, and that's all my doings. I should have really thought that the size of this base, that might have been a little too much. And I don't know, and tell me if you guys, tell me in the comments below if you guys think it's too much. If you know, if you do, then you do. We'll see how it goes. But you know, it's not going to stay lit all the time. In fact, it's probably not going to be lit up again for an eternity. So I'm not too worried about it. Got all of it. I can even go as far as putting some liquid smoke on those lights, and maybe dim them a little bit too if I wanted to. And I went with the red light just because I wanted to give it that look of kind of like on a red alert thing where the lights turn red. So yeah. Anyway, that off. So it's gone about 15 minutes now for the video. I'm going to wrap it up here. It is finally done. I'm also working on a 3D project right now. I downloaded a file that I found on Thingiverse for the Star Blazers Space Battleship Yamato, which I've got parts of it printed so far. Scoot aside and I'll show you. So this is just the front half of it. I still have got to put on the middle and the rear engine. So we're looking at another. This is going to be a very large ship. I'm 3D printing right now. I like I said, I found the file on Thingiverse. It looked good, and so far it's printed really nicely. So I want to get that printed up and then put together and painted up. So that may be a video, maybe. We'll see. Working on that. As far as my next model project, model build goes, I don't know what it's going to be. I do want to get the Nomad finished. I mean, I'll show this now, but we'll do a video on it. Got the engine pretty much completely done. Here. I went ahead and I wired up a fuel rail, which is hard to see. It's in there. Yeah, you can see the fuel rail right there in the middle. I did put some sparkling wires in and some other wiring off the distributor. That model kit itself is a lot of work because I stripped. I'll briefly show this. I ended up cutting out all of the underside, like the exhaust piping and the mufflers. I cut all that. It was all molded into the frame, and I cut all that out. And I redesigned my own mufflers, and I'm doing my own tubing. So, but that's a whole other video we'll get into later. So that's gonna be it for me, guys. I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank all my subscribers, and again, I do apologize for the distance, the time between videos. I know it's been a very long time, and I don't usually like to do videos with that much of a gap like that, but this model just really took a lot out of me with the decals. So again, thanks for watching. Please leave your comments below. I enjoy reading them, bad or good. If you guys have any ideas that you want to throw at me about the stand or anything else, please do so. And let me know if you think the stand's too much with the lights. You know, let me think it's too many lights. I think it's too many lights myself. Now that I'm looking at it, I think I really should have went with just maybe, you know, half what I've got. But I'm happy with the little sign back here that I did, the little BSG 75 thing. I do like how that turned out. But yeah, anyway, that's about it. So thanks again for watching, guys, and until next time, you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.